everybody, Geoff Hyland here with the Hyland Group, eXp Realty in Prescott. Hey, just want to give you your May 2025 market update. So as of May 1st, we'll start with the inventory side of things. 1,118 properties on the market. That is more than we've seen as of May 1st in over a decade. I just referenced or saw an article from Newsweek. Realtor.com says that inventory on a national level has surged 31% year over year. Prescott's not too far off of that mark. We have 27% increase in inventory year over year. So is it doom and gloom? Is the sky falling? No, interest rates are not, coming down or going up dramatically. They've been fairly stable. The interest rates as of May 1st were about 6.9%, which is pretty much where they've been, plus or minus. I mean, there's been some major volatility. There was 1 week just a few weeks back where we had a 6-month low and a 6-month high in terms of the interest rates in a span of 1 week. Here in the last week or so, they've been just basically holding steady. I was on the phone with a prospective buyer this morning. And of course, the first question from that buyer is, tell me your overall feel for the market. I'm seeing tons of price reductions. Does that mean that I should hold off and the market is coming down? Which is a great question, and it's a natural question for a buyer to ask in times like this. And if you go to sites like Realtor.com, Redfin, Zillow, any of those sites, you're gonna see price reduced, price reduced, price reduced, price reduced. Generally speaking, what you're seeing is overpriced listings finally responding to the market and reducing their price. When you look at days on market, the MLS average for those homes that did go under contract last month, which would have been April, it took 60 days to attract an offer. And I'm very careful on how I frame that up because remember, it's from the time they hit the market to the time that they attract an offer. Those numbers are actually creeping down just a little bit. If you recall, over the past few months, they've been closer to 70, 75, 80 days on market. But overall MLS average was 60, Prescott being 54, PV 62, and Chino Valley 58. Here's something that I am noticing. Sellers are realizing that it is not quite as strong or robust of a market as maybe they were accustomed to in recent history. So one of the numbers that I always talk about on these little updates to you guys is the active inventory. So when you look at the 1,118 homes that are on the market right now, last month I reported to you that those homes were on the market for close to 100 or 110 days if memory serves. Well, now we're seeing that they've come down a little bit, 90 days on market, but instead of being priced 14.5% over the market average for what homes are selling for, as a whole, that number has come down. So now they're only overpriced by 13%. And the days on market have come from 120 down to 90. So what you're seeing is a lot of price reductions in the market. But when the buyer asks me specifically, well, what do you think? Is now a good time? Should I just hold off? The only thing that I know what to do is to go to the numbers. So year over year, our MLS has slid in terms of values by 1.5%. It's almost negligible at that point. So year over year, we're just seeing this sort of flat. I mean, yes, there's peaks and valleys. And if you look at the charts that I produce, you'll see that some months it's up and some months it's down 2 or 3%, and then it rebounds and so forth. But on a year over year basis, we're within 1%. Inventory of that inventory, the 1,118 homes, 548 of them are in Prescott, 247 in Prescott Valley, and 95 in Chino Valley. So we'll continue to monitor where we're at overall. We talk about this a lot, the balanced market, if you will. What's most widely accepted would be a 6-month supply, 5 to 7 months. Last month we were at 5.2. This month we're at 5.2. We did see an uptick in terms of buyer activity for the month of April. So actually April pending sales were up 4.5% year over year. And so the buyers are still in the marketplace right now. We're seeing strong buyer demand. 268 properties went pending. And again, I just want to stress and emphasize those are site-built single-family homes that are on the market. So lots of buyer demand out there. There's a lot of articles being published in the news. There are certain areas of the country that are very depressed right now. Massive price reductions, and they're seeing the actual values come down. There's also markets in the US right now that's appreciating. So far, Prescott is just holding kind of steady in our surrounding area as well. If you have any questions about what to do, I mean, sellers are constantly asking me, is this the right time? Is this, should I be on the market now? Should I wait? If you have any questions about that, it's always, kind of specific to your circumstance and what your needs and goals are, but we'd be happy to talk to you about that. Generally speaking, if history is any guide, when you look at what the inventory levels were in May of 2024 compared to the peak, which we peaked last year in October, there was another couple hundred homes that came on the market between those times. So if that trend and trajectory continues, we could be looking at maybe 1,400 homes on the market by mid to late summer. So again, a lot of those are case by case specific. What are your needs and wants and desires that we're trying to accomplish for you? But we'd be happy to have those conversations. On the buy side of things, I read an interesting article this week that the average consumer, and this is according to Freddie Mac or Fannie Mae, I can't remember the exact source, but basically, if you're a buyer out there and you're contemplating shopping for a home, I know a lot of you have relationships established with previous lenders. I read this article that if you shop 2 or more lenders, on average, you'll save up to $1,000 to $1,200 per year. So if you're out there looking for homes, we'd always recommend, and you're getting pre-qualified, shop with more than one lender out there to save you some overall. That adds up to a lot of money over the life of the time that you're going to have that house. So thanks for tuning in. Reach out and feel free to contact me directly or the team if you have any further questions, and we'll talk to you next month.